Hello and welcome to another session of you and your dietitian. Last week we spoke about hypertension and its related consequences on the population. Today we are going to talk about diabetes. But first of all, let me give a very big evening to all of you watching me across the country. Some of you my patients, some of you my friends, people watching overseas, UK, US, Germany, wherever you are watching me from. Let's get to share ideas on what really diabetes is and the signs and symptoms of it, what I can do for you and what you can do for yourself as a patient, so that together we clear off diabetes from your system. The good thing is that a lot of people who have reached out and then who have personally come to me have given evidence and then have mentioned how their lives have been transformed, and then how the signs and the symptoms that they were feeling have totally gone down, to the glory of God, not by my power, but the glory of God who gave us the knowledge to really improve the health of people in Ghana and beyond. So today, what is diabetes? We're looking at what is diabetes. So diabetes, in other words, DM, comes about when your body is unable to make or use glucose for the purpose in which it is supposed to do. One, you have a lot of glucose in your blood, and then insulin, which is acting as the key to open the body cells, is unable to do so for some reasons. One, because it's weak, maybe, or the insulin, it is not enough, or the insulin is not enough to really work on the lot of glucose or blood sugar that is available in the system. So when that happens, you realize that you, the individual that suffers this condition, have certain signs and symptoms. So when you visit the hospital, the doctor would profile you, or when you go to the hospital, a dietitian for that matter, or any physician can profile you using your glucose profile, checking FBS or checking RBS. We have what we call preprandial glucose checks, and then postprandial glucose check. Before you eat and after you've eaten, 2 hours after you have eaten, it's called postprandial. We can check it afterwards. And after having profiled your glucose, then we can say, okay, based on 1, 2, 3, and the signs that you came with to the hospital, you are probably suffering from diabetes. Good. So to confirm the overall status of your diabetic status or nature, we will run some labs on you to check your HbA1c, and then DCCT, and then some other parameters to just confirm that you are really suffering from diabetes or something else, right? But if you're a patient, or if you're somebody and you begin experiencing some of these things in you, then please kindly know that you may likely be suffering from diabetes, and therefore should seek the services of a physician, a dietitian, or any other person, relevant person that is at the hospital and can help your situation. All right? Good. So I define diabetes for you, which is having excess sugar levels in the blood system, and then the insulin, which is supposed to act to send this, to let in the blood glucose into the muscles or into the cells of the body, is unable to open the cells. One, maybe because the insulin is defective, right? And then number 2, maybe your pancreas actually doesn't produce enough insulin for the body, and therefore all the food you have eaten, all the carbohydrate you have eaten has produced glucose, and it is in the blood and not being used by the body. And when that happens, you feel certain signs and symptoms within you. Number one, you may have blurry vision. You may have blurry vision. Yes. You may be suffering from a lot of urine output in the night. If you were passing urine twice over the night, you may increase to more than 3 times. And if you start experiencing some of these signs, know that something is likely to be happening to your body, and then you need health care. And then again, if you are having tingling feelings around your palm or your feet, please see a clinician, a clinical dietitian for that matter, or see a doctor, physician for that matter, to seek health care services. If you are also taking a lot of water, you are drinking hitherto or in the past, your water intake was about 3 sachets or 4 sachets. Ideally, it should be about 5 sachets and more in a day. But now you can consume or you can drink water about 10. Your water intake has increased and you easily feel thirsty. You should know that something is wrong in the system. These are signs and symptoms of somebody who is predisposed to diabetic situation and then needs a health care, the care of a dietitian, the care of a doctor, to make sure that the situation is either reversed or is managed for the person to be well. The fourth one, if you have sores and the sores are not healing as you expect them, and if that happens, look, you should seek a healthcare. You should seek healthcare services. Or you have sores and the sores are not healing the way you expect them, you should know that something is happening to the system, and therefore you should seek healthcare services. All right, great. And when you get to the hospital and the doctor or whoever that is looking after you or taking care of you checks and then tells you that your sugars are high, they will refer you to a clinical dietitian. I mean a clinical dietitian, somebody who has the knowledge, the expertise to manage your situation, all right, including the medication that you have been given. People with diabetes are given medications, but you cannot take the medication and be okay without taking the appropriate amounts of food that the body really needs. It is the same food you have been taking, the wrong timing, the wrong timing of your food, the times you eat, the amount you eat, all right? I mean the sizes and the time you eat, and what kind of food you really even eat affect your system so greatly. And together, when you come, we will take care of you to make sure that your diabetes situation is reversible. And I can tell you, my brother, my sister, my mom, my aunties, anybody who is watching me from wherever in this country called Ghana, in Nigeria, if you are watching me in South Africa, if you are watching me, I want to let you know that diabetes is reversible. It's a reversible condition, and therefore do not be told, refuse to accept the fact that if you have diabetes, you are just going to die with it. No. When you have diabetes, it can be reversed. What needs to be done is do the right thing. And the right thing is, number one, dietary modification, change of lifestyle. You were drinking alcohol, you were taking a lot of sugary drinks, right? And then you were eating too late in the night, swallows, Nigerians will call it, Ghanaians will call it benkun, fufu, all that is heavy in the night, you take it in the night. Today I took care of a patient. The patient tells me he's a supplier and he gets home around 10 and then he can't refuse to eat. Can you imagine that? 10 you are eating a bar, 10 p.m., 11 p.m. and then you don't do anything, then you go to bed. The next moment your sugars are up. So please, if you are watching, today is for diabetes. Take very good care of yourself and do not get there. But if you get there, know that speaking to a clinical dietitian, who is well versed in the area, in the reverse of diabetes, the situation can be taken care of with your medication. All right? So when you come to me, I'm going to do a few things for you. I will take you through counseling session number 1. You get to understand what the situation is about you and your health. And then after having educated you, I'll give you a meal plan. I am going to personally prepare a meal plan for you, a plan that will help you reverse the situation of diabetes in you, right? I'm going to do a diet history. I'm going to do a lot of things. You are going to stand on a machine that will scan your body and tell me how your body